How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 here. Now, I know this recap video is out a lot later than when I usually make them, but the reason for that, and to make a long story short, I was at the game on Saturday, and on top of that, I ended up being the one that had to drive us back home. And from where I'm at, South Bend is a good 3.5, sometimes 4-hour trip from here, depending on the traffic. But we didn't get home till around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and after a long drive like that, I was exhausted and I had to get some rest. But I'm here now, so let's talk about this game. Now, first off, as a sign of respect, I tip my hat off to the USC Trojans. Now, what can I say? You guys came into our house, you got the W. My hat's off to you. Congratulations. I may not like you, but I'm going to show my respect to you guys, because that's the kind of person that I am. But from our side of things, I don't even know where to begin here. I'll start by saying this. There's been a lot of blame game talk the past few days about where it should go, that kind of thing. Let me tell you something. The fact of the matter is, whether anyone wants to admit this or not, there is just as much blame on the players as well as the coaching staff. The coaching staff is just as equally to blame as the players are. I mean, the players didn't do their part out on the field. Poor execution. Basically, we were running around out there like we were a bunch of chickens with our heads cut off. I mean, we looked like an inexperienced football team out there. I'm sorry, but we did. And the coaching staff, a lot of questionable decisions, a lot of questionable play calls. Overall, the game plan was just bad. And I can't stress that enough. It was bad. Just a bunch of ridiculous play calls and decisions, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Trojans, okay? I'm not saying that they're not good, and I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to win. So any Trojan fan out there who's watching this, do not get that idea. But just strictly from our standpoint, this was a complete relapse for us. A relapse of us making mistakes and shooting ourselves in the foot. And that's what we did in this game. That's what we did. Simple as that. Another game that we pretty much gave away. I mean, watching this game was just like watching the South Florida game. Mistake after mistake after mistake. And it was just... When do we start learning from our mistakes, guys? How can we expect to make progress if we can't learn from our mistakes? If we keep making mistakes, we just say, oh, okay, we'll learn from our mistakes. Well, how do we make that progress if we don't learn from those mistakes and we keep making them? It's ridiculous. I mean, okay, first off, as far as the players' execution goes, defense struggled right out of the gates. Very sluggish to start the game. USC ran down the field like it was nothing. They made playing us look easy. We quickly go down 14-0. We finally figure out, okay, you know what, we got to step up our game. But unfortunately, as the way things turned out, it was too little, too late. But offense. I cannot tell you guys, being at that game, in the stands watching, so many times where Floyd and T.J. Jones were just left wide open. And what was one of the key factors that I said that would result in us winning this game? Attack their secondary. And with as wide open as Floyd and Jones were all day, unbelievable. They weren't even given a single look from the get-go. So, poor execution there. Play calling by the coaches. There was a play in the third. Let's see. It was Andrew. I think it was in the third quarter. Third quarter, I believe, maybe the second. But regardless, it was the first drive where Andrew Hendricks was in the game. It was a 3rd and 8 situation. So obviously you pass there. Okay, no big. That's a no-brainer. But it was the way that we lined up that was the very strange part. Floyd was the only one who lines up outside. And everyone else, Jones, Riddick, Eifert, they all stay inside the block. Well, at that point, could we have made it any more obvious as to who we were going to pass to? Do you think USC was fooled by that? No, I don't think so. We just made it. In that case, that's just us making it easy on them. Way too easy. Next bizarre play call was this. Okay, third quarter. We're down 17-10. Surprisingly, we're still in striking distance. We're driving, and Tommy Reese gets hurt and can't finish the rest of the series. Okay, whatever. So Kelly brings in Dane Christ, which is just fine. No problem. You know, give the kid a chance. And Chris puts together a pretty good drive for us, even including a situation where he came up big on a 4th and long. Kept the drive alive. Well, we get all the way down to the USC 3-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 3. Kelly decides to bring in Andrew Hendricks, which, again, I have no problem with that. You know, I figured he was going to, Hendricks is a natural running quarterback, and I figured we were going to, do a run play, get us in the end zone. Well, that's what we did. The very next play was a quarterback draw, and Hendricks damn near takes it in for a touchdown. Gets us to the half-yard line. So it's 3rd and goal from the half-yard line, and here's where the bull crap comes into play. Kelly decides to put Dane Christ back in the game. Why? Why not just let Andrew Hendricks finish what he started and punch the ball in for a touchdown? But whatever. You'd like to think even Dane Christ couldn't screw up a quarterback sneak or whatever, or handoff, whatever. Sure enough, next play, botched handoff, USC takes it 99 yards for a touchdown. Just shades of the South Florida game. That pretty much was the dagger right there. Just unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. I mean, I know this is not the case, but when things like that happen, I swear to God, it's like we're trying to lose on purpose. I mean, I know people, even players at the collegiate level, make mistakes. They fumble, they throw interceptions, whatever. But it's just the way that we've made our mistakes. It's like we're a freaking Pee Wee League team. It was just a dreadful thing to watch, that whole game. And that's the story of the game, is us relapsing on shooting ourselves in the foot. We go right back to the same Notre Dame team that we were in the first quarter of the season. Silly mistakes, silly turnovers that could have been easily avoidable. I mean, like, really, I can barely fathom that. How do you let that happen? How do you fumble on the half-yard line and then on top of that allow it to go for a 99-yard touchdown by the other team? That's absurd. Now, what really makes me mad about how this season has gone is this season, in my opinion, has been like the lost season, the season of missed opportunities, the season of mistakes. And those mistakes were all so easily avoidable. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the Trojans. And if any Trojan fans happen to be watching this video, do not get the wrong idea. I'm not saying that you guys aren't good or didn't deserve to win. But the fact is, from judging what I saw, we, like South Florida and Michigan, we gave this game away. And we had a perfect opportunity to tie the game up at 17 and, take it from there. But we didn't do that. And I don't know what to say about it. How do we keep making these silly mistakes? And basically, to sum it all up, we're a bad team when it comes to big games. I mean, we've blown every single opportunity that we've had in a big game this year. I mean, South Florida was big because we were ranked for the first time in 2 years, had to win to keep that alive, lose that game, drop out of the rankings. Michigan have a chance to upset them in their stadium, in their first ever night game. And if we blow that one, we would give up a 17-point lead, can't hold them. And on the last play of the game, we screw up. Or the last 30 seconds, we allow a touchdown. And same thing here. We have a chance to tie it up, make a game of it, get back into it, and we throw that opportunity away. So basically what this game was on Saturday was just like the 2 games before. We can't capitalize on mistakes. we make plenty of stupid, bonehead mistakes on our own, and it comes back to bite us. So, handing away touchdowns just on a silver platter, we handed this game away. That's all there is to it. And that's what really makes me angry, is watching a team that, whether the haters out there want to admit it or not, there is a lot of talent on this Notre Dame football team. There is. And the fact is, the way I see it, it's just a fact. We are not using that talent. That talent is going to waste. Now, woulda, shoulda, coulda does not cut it. And I say that all the time. But there is no reason why we should not be a 7-0 team right now. You know, we've literally held our fate in our hands all season long, and we've let them slip away. So at this point, I mean, you know, BCS is gone, and you know, best we can hope for is a 9-3 season. Which you know, I'm never gonna quit. I'm never gonna quit on this team, no matter how tough things get, and no matter how much things may suck after a loss, especially like this one. But you know, if we want to have any chance at success, we have to start learning from our mistakes. Because really, how can we progress as a football team if we can't learn, when we keep making the mistakes that we made before that we're supposed to learn from? You know what I mean? We cannot progress when we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. And on top of that, when you go a couple of games without making a mistake like that, going back to it all of a sudden. I mean, perfect example. There's no reason why anyone should drop a little short screen pass. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. And if you think it's going to be a fumble, dive on it anyway. That is fundamental football right there. So, bottom line is this, guys. We cannot continue to play football like this anymore. We're a better team than this. And I'll tell you one thing. If you guys want to finish 9-3, then you have to start playing fundamental football. And the coaching staff, you have to start using your head. I mean, clearly, USC was not fooled by any of the trickery that we tried on Saturday night. It was ridiculous. I mean, so come on, guys. It has to stop now. We have to start pulling our heads out of our butts and playing fundamental football and fundamental coaching. That's all there is to it. So, to sum this up in a nutshell, guys, another lost opportunity. That's all I can say about that. So, with that, guys, this is MD Sean 45 signing off. And one thing I will say before I leave, USC players that have been making the comments on ESPN, keep it classy. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. I'll catch you guys for the Navy preview. So until then, go Irish. Let's get back on track, finish the season strong.